the home of the Berwick Bulldogs. This is WHLM AM, W282CO Bloomsburg, W234BH West Hazelton, W242CY Berwick, and W288CF Danville. Pop Radio, a Seven Mountains Media radio station. Just 1 hour before kickoff, it's time for the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio. A conversation with Berwick Bulldogs head coach Mike Bennett and the voice of the Dogs, Jim Doyle. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling, the way the earth intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning, Light Street. Red's Roofing, the Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickashinny. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.
Well, after a convincing win over previously unbeaten Dallas, the Bulldogs face another unbeaten team tonight, taking on Danville here at Ironman Stadium. Mike, not only did your team beat Dallas, but really they did so convincingly. Final score is 39-22. You had to be thrilled with that performance.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, thanks, Jim. And we were, as a coaching staff, we were very thrilled. I mean, we know. I think I said this in an interview on Friday. I mean, we know the type of team we have, in these walls. Okay, obviously the record is the record. Okay, they see the 3 losses, but man, our kids. All right, our kids fought and battled, and I'm so glad that they overcame adversity in that second half where things could have went sideways on them a little bit, but they fought through, and they finally showed, okay, what this team can be. And, notwithstanding, yes, there's going to be a lot of improvement that we have to do, that we saw on film and things like that, but, these kids came to battle.
Before last Friday's game, we talked a lot about Dallas's outstanding rushing attack, but it was your team's rushing game that really stole the show. 196 yards altogether. The surprise to me was the 63 yards and 3 touchdowns coming from quarterback Matt Lonzinski, who's been somewhat of a reluctant runner in his career at Berwick. Was that part of the plan going in, some improvising on his part, or a little bit of both?
Well, I could be a seer and say, yeah, it was part of the plan. But I tell you what, Matt got a couple looks in there that, that he has the freedom to pull the ball down and get the rush in, and he took advantage of it. I mean, Matt's a calculated guy. Okay, he goes through his reads, and maybe, during the previous part of the season, he wasn't getting off his reads fast enough. Dallas game, he got off his reads fast enough. He's seen that those guys were really going back, okay, really dropping the linebacker level, and he took advantage of it.
Dallas averaged 41.5 points a game going into Friday's game. I thought ball control would be big for you if you could pull it off, and you did. After your first possession, a 10-play, 72-yard drive, there was just 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. You took the second half kickoff, put together a scoring drive. There was just 5:22 to go in the quarter after that. That was really to your advantage, wasn't it?
It was. I mean, we love to throw the ball here. We have quarterbacks that can throw the ball. But I tell you what, if we can run and chew clock, okay, with our running game, and we have multiple people that we can get the ball to, Bankis, Sheptok, all right, Wilk, Kishball, Lonzinski, that's really a detriment, okay, for the opposing defense, okay, because we can keep their offense off the field, keep their defense on the field, and keep our guys just grinding out 3 yards, 4 yards, 6 yards on a rush. That's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, you mentioned those playmakers for your team. Several times in Friday's game, you had Dre Wilkes, Spencer Kishbaugh, and Bo Shiptok all split out to one side. Well, then you have Ryan Bankis at the running back, and Matt Lonzinski now starting to run a bit. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense, doesn't it? Yeah,
I mean, it does. I mean, it's the old adage, man. Get your guys that can score the ball. And fortunately for us this year, we have multiple guys that can touch the ball and at any single moment can break it. So, I mean, yes, I mean, that's going to be a thing for us throughout the rest of the season. Get our guys the ball in space. Get our guys, in an advantageous position to where we know what we're going to get from the defense, and then hopefully, we get a good runner pass out of it.
And it seems like we're seeing this every week now, but your offensive line won the battle.
I tell you what, Jim, week in and week out, and you notice with me from the first interview we've done, it's always about our offensive line. And these guys are night and day from the beginning of the season, and they were trending upward at the beginning of the season. I mean, just the work, the preparation that these guys are putting in, it's great to see during the week.
Berwick's defense held Dallas to its lowest point total of the season. Up next, Mike will tell us how they did it. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
Has a sports injury got you down? No one knows sports medicine like Lehigh Valley Orthopedic Institute. Their unrivaled sports team has the highest orthopedic success rates in the region. With more than 30 years of experience, they put athletes first and provide same-day appointments. Don't let a sports injury slow you down. Learn more at lvhn.org/ortho or call 833-LV-ORTHO. Digging deeper to make ends meet? Now you can get a 26% tax credit with a geothermal heat pump system from Climate Master. Climate Master geothermal systems tap the constant temperature of the earth to provide heating, cooling, and hot water while keeping your home comfortable all year long. And Climate Master systems are so efficient, you'll save up to 70% on your energy bill. The investment in a Climate Master system quickly pays for itself. Contact your local Climate Master dealer, Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Go to robertgdentheating-ac.com.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick. The roofing experts for all of our listening area. With over 30 years experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your roofing, decks, and siding, specializing in metal roofs, rubber roofs, and shingles. Most of the work is done in one day. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Now located in Dushore and also serving Bradford and Sullivan counties with owner Harry Titus, a supporter of the Berwick football team and St. Jude Children's Hospital. Call 570-752-4351.
Family tradition is the foundation of Nespoli Jewelers, a family tradition started by Joseph Nespoli and continued by his grandson Jonathan. For 3 generations, Nespoli Jewelers have prided themselves on mixing fine with fashion. Jonathan can customize your engagement ring and wedding bands, design a unique piece of jewelry inspired by you, or simply help you find an affordable gift. Service, quality, creativity. Nespoli Jewelers. Yesterday's principles, today's creations. East Front Street in Berwick and online at nespolijewelers.com.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Tonight, here at Ironman Stadium, the 45th meeting between Danville and Berwick, but the first since 1984. Danville comes into tonight's game with a 7-0 record. The Bulldogs are 4-3, but coming off their biggest win of the season, last Friday's 39-22 win over previously unbeaten Dallas at Crispin Field. Mike, Dallas, as I mentioned earlier, entered last Friday's game averaging over 41 points a game. That 22 points they scored Friday, their lowest of the season by far. What did your team do well to keep them in check?
Well, I mean, the game plan going in was this, okay? We knew that we had to win the battle, of the trenches. The first half, I think, was a push. I think it was, either way, both ways. They had some good things. We did some good things. But I think in that third and fourth quarter, our guys took over. I believe, Liam, Carroll, Harrison Snyder, Rowan Slabinski, Chase Shuckers out there in DNs. Those guys took control of the line, and they did a great job. I mean, we knew what we were going to get with Ballesta, and as advertised, he's a heck of a runner. He gets behind his pads, he runs fast, he runs mean. And he got his yards, but I think, after that, we limited them to what they can do.
Yeah, it sounds silly to say you held Ballesta when he had 143 yards and 3 touchdowns, but he was averaging over 200 yards a game. And, you take away that 140-yard burst of his, and you did okay against him. Yeah,
and we did, yeah. And we knew going in, you can't just totally shut a back like that down, okay? We knew going in. Now, we had had some type of plan, for him. He's going to get his. He's going to have his touches. But, our guys came to battle. Our guys tackled. Our guys rallied to the ball. Our guys put hits on him. But, what I really think is, other than Ballesta, it wasn't, so much of, because these guys have, a good passing game as well. We got to the quarterback. We defended some passes. We had a couple breakdowns out there, but I'll tell you what, our guys came to play.
You mentioned getting to the quarterback, and I think you got to him at the perfect time. A big moment in the game, 8:55 still to go. Dallas recovers a kickoff after going through a scoring drive to cut it to a 10-point game. That was really a big point in the game. You mentioned adversity before. That was the time. And that was the time where you really got after Zapaticki, and a couple of sacks and a couple of hits. And perfect time to get after him, right?
It was. I mean, that's typical of what we've seen here in the past couple seasons, the past couple games early on. That second half, we faced some a little bit of adversity, and then we could have put our heads down. But you could see it in these kids' eyes this past week. You could saw it in those kids' eyes at halftime. They weren't going to let anything get in their way. And yes, we had the unfortunate fumble in the kickoff. Our defense came out there on a sudden change, and first play, sack. Second play, sack, and I think it was maybe a legal man downfield, and now they're playing behind the stick. So, it was great to see, Jim.
Well, we've talked about offense and defense, but I'd certainly be remiss if I didn't mention the special teams play of a ninth grader, Tymir Wilkerson. We had him for 3 different tackles on kickoffs, and most of those inside the 20-yard line. He did a great job.
He did an outstanding job. Tymir is going to be he's a name to remember, for the fans here. I mean, he's going to do tremendous things in this program for the next 3 years. But, Tymir's one thing he has right now, the kid's strong and he has speed. Okay, he's one of the fastest kids on our team right now as a freshman. We put him out there on kickoff. We expect him to go through there, rally to the ball and get to their kickoff returner. And he has done that these last couple of games very well.
Tonight, the Bulldogs face unbeaten Danville here at Ironman Stadium. Later in the show, Mike will tell us why the Ironmen are so good. But up next, it's the Bulldog Spotlight feature. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
Hi, this is Cassidy from the Independence Ford Service Department, Route 11 in Bloomsburg. Does your Ford or Lincoln vehicle need service? Having trouble getting an appointment at your usual service center? At Independence Ford, we can and will take care of all your service needs. Regardless of where you purchase your Ford or Lincoln vehicle, our goal is to get you back on the road. Give me a call for an appointment today at 784-1414.
Come and get a great deal and total satisfaction.
Independence Ford, better people, better prices.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They are more than a bank. They're your neighbor. They are First Keystone Community Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Hey, Bob.
Honey, that talking squirrel is back.
That's your last beer, Bob.
When were you planning on getting around to raking, Bob? There are so many leaves on the lawn that I can't find my nuts. What's so funny, Bob?
Nothing.
You need to call Klein's Lawn Service and Professional Tree Care. They handle lawn and tree care, landscaping, leaf cleanup, and even snow removal.
What did you say you can't find?
Shut up, Bob.
Choose Klein's Lawn Service and Professional Tree Care for your property maintenance. Follow Klein's on Facebook to set up your free evaluation today.
Whether it's the heat of the preseason or the heart of the postseason, teams will always get a little boost from playing at home. Speaking of a boost at home, State Farm can boost your savings when you combine your homeowner's insurance with your auto coverage. So score one for the home team. Talk to State Farm agents Lori Powell or Sean Black in Berwick, or Melissa Price in Nescapec about big savings for combining home and car coverage. Give State Farm agents Melissa Price, Sean Black, or Lori Powell a call today.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
For the second straight week, the Bulldogs are facing an unbeaten team. Last Friday at Crispin Field, it was Dallas. Tonight, here at Ironman Stadium, Danville. In our next segment, Mike will tell us about the Ironman, but now it's time for our weekly feature, Bulldog Spotlight. Tonight, the spotlight is on junior Ethan Lear. Mike, Ethan does an important but underrated job for your team. He's a long snapper and punts and place kicks. I can't recall any problems in that area. He's done a nice job, hasn't he?
Hey, let me tell you something. He's one of the top long snappers, in the state of PA as a junior. Okay, he's already getting calls and he's getting recruited as a long snapper right now. I mean, the kid has it. You can see every day he's practicing his craft. But other than being our punt snapper, and being our our extra point and field goal snapper. I mean, he's on every special team for us. Obviously, he's our backup quarterback, and he's going to do tremendous things for this program next year. Right now, he fills a niche for us. You know, we feel that he's another one of our playmakers that we have. You know, we can put him in there at quarterback, you know, for Matt if we have to, and he can get the job done. But he's having a nice little season for himself.
After he snaps on punts, he's doing a great job getting down to make tackles on the returner.
Listen, yes, he is. I mean, special teams for us is special, okay? We need to be able to trust you to be on special teams. And everybody out there on special teams we trust. It's just not something that we put somebody out there just so they said they can play. We need to trust you. You know, we need a great special teams presence out there, and Ethan's giving that to us.
You mentioned him getting looks. There was a time when the long snapper was considered just an afterthought. And more teams at the college level realize how important it is. And if you get someone that can do that, there's going to be offers ahead.
Listen, I mean, it was maybe a couple weeks ago in one of the NFL games, one of their long snappers went down. I believe it was either for the Steelers or the Chiefs, okay? And they botched a couple extra points. They botched a field goal to win the game. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you don't notice them until you notice them, okay, when you see the bad snap. So it's definitely a position, okay, of one out there for D1 schools, D2 schools that need snappers.
You mentioned Ethan Lear as the backup quarterback. What's his strength in that regard?
I tell you what, Ethan's strength is his speed, okay? Ethan, you know, he's a great reader of the defense. You know, when we put him out there, we like to have him read a defense, whether he's reading a D end or maybe a linebacker or a D tackle, and he knows when to give it, he knows when to take it. All right, and keep it for the run. But I tell you what I really like about Ethan now is just because we put him out there doesn't mean we're going to run him. Okay, Ethan has an arm. Okay, he's been working that all off season, and like I said, he's probably going to be the incumbent, probable starter for us next year. So any reps that he can get out there on the field during a varsity game is just beneficial for us.
Well, he's so versatile. He's a backup in the secondary as well. In fact, he returned an interception for a touchdown at Abington Heights. What are his strengths as a defensive back?
I tell you, obviously, I mean, for being a quarterback, he reads routes well. Okay, he redirects to the ball. He can get hands on people. He can tackle. Okay, and you're right. He's part of our nickel package that we have out there, where we like to put him in there when we know that they're going to throw the ball. So yeah, Ethan is the complete package for us, and I can't wait to see what he does the rest of the season and next season.
In the Bulldog spotlight, 6', 150-pound junior Ethan Lear. Tonight, Ethan and his Bulldog teammates face unbeaten Danville here at Ironman Stadium. Up next, Mike will evaluate the Danville offense. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
If you have a child that's interested in gymnastics, or if you've been practicing the sport for years, then Access Gymnastics Academy is where you want to be. Their dedicated coaches will teach you everything you need to know to perform your best, from the basics of flexibility, form, and style to advanced techniques that will improve your rhythm and style during a routine. Call Heidi.
With pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
Welch's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welch's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard.
postseason playoffs. Win over Danville tonight. His passing numbers are off the charts. 76.3% completion rate, 1,128 yards, 16 touchdowns, 1 interception. What makes him so good?
I mean, can you imagine those stats? Those stats are tremendous. I mean, Gordon does a great job, and he drives that offense, okay? He sees people open. He's very accurate, okay? Obviously, he has the weapons that he can get the ball out there for him. But I tell you what, he sees the defense well. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, and he puts it on him. He's
a dual-threat quarterback, 27 carries, over 9 yards a carry. Scrambles or set plays?
There are a couple of set plays in there, okay? If there's a couple of set plays in there, they're kind of like what we do with Matt, too. There's a read down there, but, also, they're gonna, maybe he'll call his own, Q power, a little bit of quarterback power, a little bit of quarterback counter. So he can do it a bunch of different ways. But I think more so with that is, the defense is trying to sell out for the pass, and, Danville wants to get a little bit more out of run support with him, so they're going to have him run the ball.
You reference weapons around him. None more prolific in the passing game than Carson Persing, a two-time All-Stater as a wide receiver. 27 catches this season, 13 of them have gone for touchdowns. He's averaging over 20 yards a catch. What makes him so good?
Oh, I tell you what, shifty. I use the word shifty. The kid's fast, okay? The kid has speed, and the kid has shiftiness, all right? He runs his routes prolifically, okay? I mean, he's probably the toughest receiver we have seen so far, and probably might be we've seen, throughout the season, throughout the playoffs. All right, the kid is he has great hands. Okay, he has a feel for the defense. Danville does a great job trying to scheme him open. So we're gonna have our hands full with them.
Yeah, if they were just a passing team, that'd be one thing, but they're not. They run the football. We mentioned over 9 yards a carry for the quarterback. Also, they have a tailback in Ty Stauffer, averaging 6.6 yards a carry. He's pretty good. Yeah,
he's very good. Okay, Army commit. Okay, he's going up there, with one of our guys, Blaine Cleaver, for the last couple of years. So, yes, exactly. So if you try to sell out to, for the pass, and, you want to, drop 7 guys, guess what? They got number 5. He's 5'10", 200. He's probably a little bit more than that. Okay, the kid runs, Stauffer runs well. He runs like a hammer out there. So these guys are a multifaceted, very diverse offense that we haven't seen yet this year.
And an offensive line that returns 4 or 5 starters from a team that won their second straight district championship a year ago. So there really are no discernible weaknesses in this offense.
No, there's not. You can see why they're averaging over 48 points again. I mean, these guys are the real deal. And you know what? And it's going to be, I kind of relish playing this game because I want to see what our guys can do against a capable, state-ranked team like Danville.
Danville has also been very strong in defense this season. Up next, Mike will tell us about that unit. You're listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio.
It won't be long before tax time rolls around, so remember to visit Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting for your income tax needs. ND Accounting and Consulting handles both business and individual taxes, as well as offering a variety of accounting services, including payroll, auditing, and bookkeeping. For tax and accounting services, look for Michael Daddio CPA at ND Accounting and Consulting with 2 locations, 214 Pine Street in Berwick and 5929 Main Road in Sweet Valley.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 120 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you and your children every step of the way.
Every step of the way, First Columbia Bank.
When you think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables, you may only think of trophies, but we're much, much more than that.
We can take care of your wedding gift ideas or gifts for your graduate.
T-shirts and commemorative gifts for your company picnic or family reunion.
Unique gifts, personalized to your every need.
So when you think gifts, think of Wagner's Trophies and Engravables in downtown Bloomsburg. Online at wagnerstrophies.com.
S.J. Kowalski Heating and Air Conditioning sells comfort. Since 1972, S.J. Kowalski understands the importance of doing business locally. They service what they sell and take pride in customer satisfaction. S.J. Kowalski is a trained comfort specialist, a Lennox dealer, and they are Northeastern Pennsylvania's premier dealer of Mitsubishi ductless mini split systems. S.J. Kowalski also sells and installs energy-efficient Renai water heaters and geothermal systems. Call 1-888-KOWALSKI and ask about special promotions and zero-interest financing.
You are listening to the Coach Bennett Show on Pop Radio with the voice of the Berwick Bulldogs, Jim Doyle.
Weekend number 8 of the 10-week regular season kicks off tonight. Here at Ironman Stadium, the Bulldogs face the unbeaten Ironmen of Danville. Mike, we talked about Danville's eye-popping offensive numbers, but their defensive unit has been just as impressive. Danville has allowed a total of 28 points, and they've shut out 5 of their 7 opponents. What makes them so good on that side?
This defense is giving me nightmares, okay, throughout the night. Yeah, you think of that. 28 points in 7 games. Okay, that's incredible. These guys are a 3-4 base team. They're an attacking team. Okay, they like to play zone behind it, a little bit of cover 3 behind it. But I tell you what, everything these guys do, they are on the move. They're slanting. Okay, they are blitzing 1 or 2 of their outside backers or inside backers. These guys run well every play. They attack. Okay, they attack the offense. I mean, we haven't seen, and it's funny because we haven't seen an offense like this. We haven't seen a defense like this either. Okay, up in District 2. This is going to be a nice game, hopefully for the fans a while. But I tell you what, we better be ready to go on offense.
Personnel-wise, so one of their inside linebackers, Mason Raup, is a senior. He's an all-stater from a year ago. He's the all-time leading tackler in school history. He's pretty good.
Yeah, these guys are good on defense. He jumps out, okay, on tape. I mean, he's making plays in the backfield. He's making sticks against Montoursville, against Lewisburg that we're seeing on film. This kid is everywhere on the field. So he is as advertised. So we better come up with a game plan here, to be able to either block him, all right, or if we want to read him, if we want to do something with him, because I tell you what, he can make it a nightmare for our offense.
Well, considering what you've just told us about their defense, what overall are the keys for your team?
Just like anything, Jim, it's going to be up to the line, okay, on either side of the ball, especially offensively. Okay, we got to be able to know what they're doing, where they're going. We got to be a little birdie in the back of our head saying, okay, they're going to be moving this play. We got to make sure we step down, or we're going to have to reach all at the same foot, and we got to make sure we get hands on these guys and get up to that second level, because if there's a little crack, they're going to take it.
Another Friday night, another unbeaten opponent. Thanks for your time and best of luck.
Thanks, Jim.
Listen for another edition of the Coach Bennett Show prior to next Friday's game against Crestwood at Crispin Field. Stay tuned now for Berwick and Danville football on Pop Radio.
You've been listening to the Coach Bennett Show, brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust. With you every step of the way. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Axis Gymnastics Academy in Bloomsburg. Independence Ford, Rattle Lebanon in Bloomsburg. S.J. Kowalski Heating and Cooling. Way the Earth Intended. First Keystone Community Bank. Yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's visions. Mason's Monogram Service for all your Bulldog merchandise. Robert G. Dent Heating and Air Conditioning in Light Street. Red's Roofing. The Roofing Ninjas in Berwick. Lehigh Valley Health Network, the region's leader in orthopedic and sports medicine. The Mayo Funeral Homes of Berwick and Chickashinny. And by Wagner's Trophies and Engravables. Main Street in Bloomsburg.